go ahead and get. All right, guys, good morning and happy June 5th. I'm coming to you full of energy, full of passion, and as always, full of tremendous levels of gratitude. And here's one thing that I'm truly, truly grateful for. As you guys know, if you've spent any time with me, if you've watched my stories, if you've watched the journey, you guys know what I've gone through with my daughter and getting custody and all these things over the last couple of years. And I don't need to share all the details. But tomorrow I go to Seattle to pick her up from Alaska. And so my daughter will be out here for about a month this time. So I'm super, super grateful to be able to go pick up baby girl tomorrow. I leave at 6 a.m. from SFO and then bring her back tomorrow night. So I'm really, really excited. So that's one thing that I'm truly, truly grateful for this morning. So stoked to have my baby girl here. So let's go ahead and get in state, you guys. I'm going to go over to, let me see, who do I got on? Who do I have on? Who do I have on? First off, welcome to some of our guests. I see some new faces here in the room. So welcome to our guests. Rico, I'm going to have you take us out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful morning. So Rico, I'm going to ask you this. Bring us out on the field. 2 things that you're stoked about in your business right now, 2 personal, and what is the advice that you need to hear today? If you're looking yourself in the mirror and you're saying, hey, Rico, I need to have a conversation with you, what's the advice that Rico needs to hear today? So Big Dog, take us out on the field. Let me turn the mic over to you.
Good morning, team. Fast as well, just like Elias. I'm at the park right now, just enjoying some nature vibes before I get into the flow of the day. So let's just make the best of it and move forward with it. So you said 2 personal wins and then 2 business wins. Yep. And then what I need to hear? Sure thing. Yeah. So 2 personal wins have really just been staying consistent, even with a lot of, I guess, extracurricular things going on in my life, and just keeping the main goal. The second win is I had a great open house in Folsom yesterday. Met some great people, and I'm gonna nurture some future relationships. And yeah, and then on the business end of things, I have been doing really. It's been really nice just gaining those natural connections. Like even a few weeks ago, my son's karate sensei came up to me and he's like, oh, hey man, I'm looking to buy 2 homes in the next 6 months and I'm going to need your help. And then I also want you to make a banner in the dojo with your face on it, so everybody knows that you're the local realtor out here. So that's been really cool. And then I'm also really grateful to have Nias and Mitch as like my accountability and my script role play partners. So they've been really just helping me just stay consistent. And me and Mitch go out every Wednesday and do about 100 doors together. So we're going to make that a weekly thing. And yeah, and then what I just need to hear is really, I've been thinking about that quote from Bruce Lee a lot lately, like be like water, right? Like just be able to make the moves that you need to make and be able to just kind of adapt to the situations that you need to without really getting overly stuck in the form of what comes up, because life comes in infinite form. So you just got to kind of take them as they come.
Wow, man. Really, really powerful. I love it, Rico. I appreciate your words. You guys, let me pause for a quick second. We have some guests on the line, so welcome once again to our guests. But if you guys are here, I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. Well, I'm going to request something of you. Throw your cameras on. I want to see you guys. Let's be here. Let's be present. Let's be up. Let's be out of bed. Let's make sure that this is starting our day off on the right positive foot, because how you show up here is how you're going to show up for everything, you guys. So let's do this. I want to share a story with you because I thought it was really powerful. Had dinner with a team member last night, and she had a moment. So this person has tripled or doubled her business, close to tripling her business year over year. And she said, and I didn't know this, she said, last year I would go to my son's karate and I was manifesting where I wanted my business to be. And so she said, I'd sit in there, and while he was doing karate, I would take fake phone calls. And I just thought it was such a powerful moment, because she's like, I just wasn't busy. I wanted to be busy. And so I was manifesting it. So she's like, I would take buyer calls while my son was in karate. But she's like, to think that I no longer have to fake phone calls because my business is flourishing right now. And I am so busy because I put in all of the hard work. I thought it was just a beautiful, beautiful message that she would sit there manifesting through fake phone calls to know that she has crushed her business and she has grown so much so she no longer has to make phone calls that are fake at her son's karate. I just thought that was really, really powerful. So I thought I'd share that sentiment with you guys. So let's do this. I want to go in today and I want to ask you guys some questions about where you're at and what you're focused on this week. Oftentimes we all have these ideas. We can think bigger, right? We talk about this a lot. We have ideas, but there's a separation between what you actually are thinking about accomplishing in your business. And the only thing that is stopping you is actually execution. Because I'm sure you guys have a litany of things that you've been wanting to implement in your business. There's all kinds of things. There's ideas, business strategies, newsletters, campaigns, content that you're going to create, all of these things. So I want to ask everybody right now, what I want to do is I want to get everybody focused as we walk into this beautiful Monday and beautiful new week. I want you to ask yourself right now, for this 1 week, if we're going to say Monday to Sunday, what are you focused on this week alone? Just this week. If you have the ability to write, what are you focused on just this week? What are you committed to accomplishing just this week? Like micro-sized chunks of your business. What are you focused on? What are you committed to accomplishing this week alone? Is there somebody that you need to contact? Meaning, is there a phone call? Is there a person or somebody that you need help getting this thing in motion? Whether it's an event, whether it is VA support, marketing help, whatever that looks like for you. And then what is the timeline that you're giving yourself? And is this on your calendar? You might have an event that's happening 2 weeks from now, but there's some things that need to happen this week. Is it on your calendar? Is there a deadline? And is there a commitment? Because your ideas are just ideas. If you're not putting on paper, you're not putting yourself an execution date, and you're not putting this into motion. So focus on this with me, you guys. What are you really, truly focus action items this week alone? And then what needs to happen? When is that happening? What is on your calendar? And I want you guys to share with me. So let's start there. I have a few other questions, and let me see what we got in the chat because a few people are lighting up the chat. All right, cool. So I'm actually going to turn it over to you, Romel. I want you to share with me, and then I'm going to go to Vernon, and then I'm going to go to Roger. So Romel, take me a little further on what this is, and then Elise Jones, I want to hear from you as well. So Romel, walk me through this, following up with the invitees video email. So talk to me about this. When does this need to happen? Talk me through your flow.
So we have a event coming at the office to do a NACA workshop, and I've invited about 12 people from my personal list, and I just need to follow up with them, confirm that they're coming, remind them of the event, and encourage them to come out and explain what the advantages of doing NACA. I also had my first listing appointment this Sunday, yesterday. Turned out pretty well. We haven't got the agreement signed, so I need to do some follow-up to send them some references for inspections that are specific to San Francisco. They're pretty much ready to sign, so I need to get up on my game on that. And then just sticking with reaching out to my SOI. That's been my focus the last couple of weeks, just reaching out to people that I know and just following up on trying to get business. So that's my week.
So Romel, the first one for the NACA invitees, when are you doing that by? What date this week? What day? What time?
So today is sending out the video emails. Then I'll follow up again on Wednesday with phone calls. Just to probably should do that on Tuesday. Follow up with phone calls, confirm they got the video email, and then follow up again on Wednesday. And that's what I'm doing for those pieces.
Yes, I love this. I love this. All right, Vernon, let's hear from you, big dog. What are you focused on right now? What needs to happen? What's on your calendar for this week alone? Walk me through this.
Focused on locking my follow-up boss training in with Dan. I've got one area to strengthen there. I just finished sending him another message. I've got a listing agreement that we've already gotten signed. My client is being a little challenging as he's an attorney, so his perspective is quite interesting as it pertains to certain things to get his property ready. I'll just say it that way. So really staying on top of him, removing some of those fears associated with him penny pinching and getting him to see the value in terms of return for what he's going to actually address on the back end. So, but there's a second listing agreement that we did the presentation last week, but our seller she wanted to have some time to think about it further over the weekend. So she's gotten to that point. I'm going to get that signed. I believe it's tomorrow. I got to confirm that with her today. And so, and then, man, my contact list, I've got to really, I know a lot of people. And so I need to be able to take all that information and have it in my contact list as a part of my distribution list. So those are the three things that I'm really focused on this week.
So let me ask you this. Let's just go back to follow-up, boss. So this week, you've made a commitment to yourself to work with Dan to make sure that your follow-up boss is on point. Like, why is this so important to your business and where you're at right now?
Oh, it helps me keep track of everything and everyone at every step of the transaction or a plan that I want to put into play. It just helps me automate my systems. And so Lisette and I do a lot of transactions as a team. It allows her or myself to add each other as collaborators so that our communication is streamlined, it's recorded. I can go back for quality assurance, you know what I mean? To just hear myself, see myself. It keeps me on track with every single task, with every single client that we have in the system. And that allows me to go and do what I really love to do, which is work with the people.
That's right. I love this. Let me get a reaction below on the screen below, or if you're on your phone, just go down to the very bottom. How many people need to improve their CRM game? Just give me any type of emoji if you feel like you need to improve your CRM game. All right. If you have a hand up, or if you've nodded your head, or if you've waved or made any type of reaction to that, my answer is, well, now what? What are you going to do about it? Right? You have resources, there's videos, there's Dan. Like, what are you going to do about it? If you know that my CRM game needs to improve in order for me to have the best operational efficiencies to support my game long-term, to make sure I'm organized and I don't miss anything, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to say, you know what? Vernon took action last week. He said, hey, what do I do about my follow-up boss? I said two things. You need to call Dan. You need to get that on your calendar and make sure that that is set. And then next time we're on a coaching call, you and I are just going to walk through all of your campaigns and make sure that this is solid. So if you guys need a a training, a coaching, a session on that, make sure to reach out to Dan. There's tons of stuff on the calendar, but this also, a lot of this falls on your own shoulders. I want everybody, if you're struggling with your CRM, whether it's KV Core, whether it's Boomtown, or whether it is Follow-Up Boss that's provided for you, I want you to put yourself in that campaign, or put yourself on a campaign. Just put yourself in there and start working yourself like a lead. That way you can really see how the program works. And you guys, make no excuses about it. We're midway through the year. If you don't have a CRM, a management system for all the leads that you have captured throughout the year, you guys are missing a huge opportunity to grow and scale your business. So make no excuses. Get this out of the way. Congrats to you, Vernon. Love to hear this. Michael Swanson, I want to hear from you, big dog. A 10-page 10 chapter selling guide. Tell me about this. What is the deadline? This is something you're focused on. So we want to hear more about this, because this is the first I've heard about this.
So I was just brainstorming with a buddy of mine who's also a realtor, is not on Team Fast. And we were trying to figure out just how to market out of the box a little bit. And I want to get back into door knocking, but I don't want to door knock with like the same ass flyers and, you know, something that somebody's gonna look at and just throw away. And so we were thinking, and so at first I was thinking like a brochure, something like that. And I'm like, what about like a little, you know, informational pamphlet? So it's 10 chapters. It's going to be 10 chapters. It's like three or four pages, about 400 words per chapter, about 40 pages. And it's just going through how to sell your home in the Bay Area, what the Bay Area market is like, what to expect. It's kind of like a buyer's consultation, but it's a little bit more information just for people to walk through. So when I door knock, I can hand you this, and most likely, you know, at least people will skim through it a little bit, give it out for free. I'm gonna make it probably available online for download as well. You know,
love it. So what needs to happen this week to support that plan, that idea, that vision?
Right now I'm about 6 chapters in, so I'm just keep writing it, and I'm taking time every day just to take a couple hours out of the day to keep writing it. Trying to have it done by the end of the week so I can send it out for formatting and all of that, and then get it printed and have it out, trying to have it out by early July.
I love this. I love this. So he's got a plan. He's a man on a mission. I absolutely love this. Ro, let's hear from you. You had wrote something in here, practice scripts, Juneteenth newsletter, farming postcards. You got a lot of things that you're focused on right now. So walk me through some of the things that you wrote here in the chat.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, just I have a number of accountability partners. So just gonna work this week, thanks to Amy, my next door neighbor, who I didn't know was a realtor in the past. Said he'll come over or we'll practice. Yeah, so I'm really blessed to have these folks that I'm working with, and then also want to work on a newsletter. Hayward is known as the heart of the Bay, so something like the heartbeat or something like that. So kind of want to work on that theme and do something really simple for this first one. But
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Beautiful, beautiful. No,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And then what else? Farming. So I have a tool that someone introduced me to called Ignite RE. So I was able to pull some addresses for folks that have lived in their homes for 20 plus years, and then folks who are behind in their taxes. And so maybe sending 2 different postcards. So coming up with some language around that I'll run by Jean to send those out and see if I can get some folks that way. And then just have been working on my systems, like putting things in Asana, getting all my templates together in zip forms, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Beautiful. Do you feel that you have clear direction this week?
I do. And I'll be off in the last 2 weeks of June. So I'm hoping, well, for my other job, so I'm hoping to spend more time, maybe doing some door knocking. So if anybody needs a partner for that, hit me up, let me know. So yeah, just trying to set things up so I'm ready.
I love this. I love this. Absolutely love it. So this week, it's already in your calendar, things that you're working on, things that you need to focus on, and some deadlines and some commitments for this week. I love it. I love it. Anybody else want to share? I need 2 more people to share on this topic. What are you truly focused on this week? What are you committed to? What needs to happen? When is that happening by? Who else wants to share? And feel free. Anybody can raise their hand on this one. All right, let's go. Let's go, Amy. And then, I saw you smiling, bro. I'm calling you next.
So I have 2 offers to write this week. And I'm also going to be doing some script role play with Ro and other people as well. But for me, I'm going door knocking. I'm getting the 2 offers and I'm tidying up the sale that I'm in now. Just trying to get something happened during the appraisal safety issue came back that we've just got fixed. So I'm scrambling to do a close on one of them and write 2 offers, get everything, all the loan information and everything together to do 2 offers this week.
I love this. Good stuff. And congrats on your new escrow. All right, Odog, let's hear from you. What are you focused on this week, my man? What are your commitments? What needs to happen? Let's hear from you.
Getting back on the bike. Sometimes we all go through things. The last 2 weeks just been up and down with a lot of stuff. So just getting back on the bike and pedaling, for me, that's just overcoming what I need to do. A lot of follow-up. I got about like 5 or 6 buyers that are just sitting on the wire waiting to go. So I've been trying to work on practicing my dialogue and what I'm going to be saying to obviously the 2 buyers, ones that are ready now and ones that should be ready. With rates going up, it's good to know how to pivot through conversations with other agents and how to get your offer accepted. If you have an active buyer that's in the market right now that's willing to pull the offer in at rates at 7%, you're doing pretty well because there's a lot of people hanging on the cliff right now. And so just having the right verbiage to help them get over the finish line to actually even making an offer if they're not. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have a lot of buyers too that pre-approved, but rates are just going up and it's being hard to difficult to get them to that finish line. So just getting on the bike, pedaling, working whatever systems work for me and not trying to veer off because if you stay the course, I figured on some of the things that work for me, even when there's a week or 2 where it's not working, just staying the course, staying on the bike, stay pedaling, and results will come.
I love this. I love this. You guys, I want you to ask yourself a couple questions here. And there's a book. I want everyone to buy this book. It's not a quick read. This is a strategic book. This is something you're going to reference. This is something you're probably going to read 2 or 3 times. It's called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And this is going to be a way for you to truly elevate any marketing that you're doing. I want to switch gears right now because I want to ask you guys a question. First and foremost, you guys are probably following a lot of realtors. You're following entrepreneurs. You're following people that you really look up to. You're following people that aesthetically have things that are so like, in your eyes, like, oh my God, that is so beautiful, or that's so dope, or like, wow, the way that they have their content structure, whatever it is. I want you guys to answer this first question. Who's somebody in this business or an entrepreneur that when you look at their branding, when you listen to their videos, like who's someone right now that you look up to and you're like, wow, like I'm super inspired by the things that they're posting, the things that they're creating, the things that they're saying. Who's somebody right now that you guys look up to? And I want you guys to put that in the chat down below. Who's a person right now, when you look at their branding, when you look at their content, when you look at their marketing, you look at their strategies, when you hear about the action that they take, when you hear about the things that they do on a daily, who's somebody that you really look up to? So, okay, cool. So Loida, love it. George, Peter, love this. NECA Jenkins, absolutely. Huge fan of NECA and what she's doing. Who else, you guys? Keep them coming. Keep them coming. This is the interaction part of this. Who's somebody? Rick Jiha, George, Loida, Veronica Figueroa, Dominique and Christina, absolutely doing big things. I love this. Will and Roxanne, totally, absolutely. And keep them coming. Who else, you guys? And even think outside of the team. Is there other realtors at other companies? Chris Perry in DC, George, Bling, I love this. All right, cool. Cool. Anybody else? Gavin Rubenstein, I've never heard that name, so I love this. Stephen Diaz, dope, awesome. Mary Mount, Nicole Nicolay. I love you. All right, so keep going, you guys. So the reason why I want you to answer this question, it's really important. There's probably things that you see and you're like, damn, Rico, I really like that. And what we do is we give it a thumbs up or we give it a heart, but we don't go layers deeper. Like, hey, Rico, I want to ask you a couple questions about the thing that you just posted. How are you coming up with your ideas? You know, how do you post this, or whatever the case is? When you're out doing tours, when you go to an open house, when you go to preview properties, what is it about their marketing online? When you get to the property, what was it? How did they have their things printed out? What were their flyers like? Did they have list reports? Like, evaluate everything, right? And so stay with me for a moment here. And I wrote some questions here. I want you to look at your business and I want you to evaluate it, not compare. I want you to evaluate against top performers that you look up to, and just do that like you guys are doing right now. And you guys are thinking, you're thinking. So when you think about your own strategy, your own look, your own flow, your own aesthetics, what needs to improve with your own strategy right now, right? What are some things that if you were to really start to refine these, what would that be? Well, I don't like the way that my social media page looks. I don't like the way that my wall looks. I don't like the way that my videos turn, whatever that is. I don't like my flyers. I don't like my headshot on my flyers. I don't like the way that my flyer is outlined. I don't like my presentation overall, whatever that is, you guys. I'm just throwing out ideas. So I want you to observe and I want you to ask yourself, what can I eliminate from what I'm currently doing? What do I need to create? And what do I need to change, right? Something you might have, or something you have might be good for your business right now, and it just needs to change a little bit. But some stuff that you're using probably could be eliminated. Let's face it, some of you guys have something that is not working, but yet you're still using it and still focused on it because you believe that it's going to work somehow, some way. This message is for everybody on the call. I don't care if you're the top producer on the call or if you are just an up-and-comer in this game. The one thing that you need to do in order to grow in real estate is you need to surrender. You need to surrender to your ego, to all the things that you tell yourself that are working that aren't necessarily working for you and your business, and you need to surrender and you need to give in. Because when you surrender, you become humble. Once you become humble, you're open to feedback and you can look at your business and say, you know what? There's some things that I need to eliminate, create, change in my business in order for me to get better. So when you guys, first off, look at somebody for evaluation, right? What are they doing? How do they show up? Why do they make those videos? If you guys like George's videos, then ask him how to create the video that he creates. I mean, right? I raise my hand all the time and I ask people. So you evaluated amongst top producers and top performers, people that you look up to. Now, when you look at your own business, if you were to say, you know what, I'm going to create a blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean means I stand in a land of my own. I'm in a lane of my own. Nobody else does Elias Astuto. Nobody else does Melody Cleone. Nobody else does Romel. Nobody else does Mama Son. Nobody does that. I am in a lane of my own. There might be some similarities, but when you watch my video, it's vastly different than anybody else's out there. When you see my flyer, when you see my colors, when you see my font, everything's different. Everything is different. So I want you to look at your business right now and evaluate it. What needs to change? What needs to be eliminated? And what needs to be created in your business right now? And if you guys are thinking about this, consciously thinking about this right now, I'm sure you have some thoughts. Maybe it's something that you've been doing for a while and like, hey, you're using a font that was dope in 2020, but right now it's not. You're using a headshot that was dope in 2016, but times have changed. You look a little older, you got a little gray, and you need to own that. You need to look at your business right now, aesthetically pleasing. Like if your business, your real estate business, was a pop-up shop, a posh market that you walk into and you're like, oh my God, this feels really, really good. Or when you've had that experience, when you go to someone's open house, or when you go to their Facebook, or when you go to their Instagram, or when you go to their website, you're like, damn, this feels so good. This feels so good. It has a rhythm, it has a flow, it's inviting. What do you need to work on in your business? Like, look at that. And like truly look at it like, okay, what do I need to eliminate, create, or change in my business right now? And I want you guys to be clear on this and just do some brain dumping on this. Who wants to share? And this is gonna be a vulnerable moment, I promise you, but I'd love to get some people raising their hand on this, and I want to go around the room because what you're gonna hear is you're gonna hear some things that are probably similarities in things that you want to create. Let's hear from you guys. If you were going to look at your overall strategy, your marketing, your aesthetics of your business, what are some things that you need to eliminate, create, or change in your business? Who wants to go first? And if you don't go first, guess what? Uncle E is just going to call on you. So I need 5 people to get involved in this conversation. And if you've never spoke on group coaching, take yourself off of mute and get involved in this. Because all of us can improve. Because check this out, and I'll be humble with you guys. Keep It Moving group coaching wasn't a thing 2 years ago. It didn't have a logo. It didn't have a Instagram. It didn't have anything, nothing. None of this was created. It's been created over time, been created over time, been created over time. So I need 5 people to be on deck with their hands up. And if you don't throw your hands up, I'm just going to call on you. So please, I see you, Rico. Who are my other 4? I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time to get your hands up on this conversation. Elise Jones, I need 3 more. Who else? Stephanie Henry, I see you. 2 more. Who else? Who's it gonna be? Remember, keep it moving, you guys. This is participation. This is group activity. Maria, and then I need 1 more. George Martinez and the Shanice. All right, cool. Let's go. Rico, you're up first. Elisa, and then we'll start working our way through the room. I love it. Let's go. And keep your hands up if you're the ones that said you wanted to participate on this conversation, so I do not miss you. Rico, let's go.
For sure. Yeah.
Remember-
So for me, it's definitely about just bringing more of myself into my content. So just being a creative person, loving music, loving art in general. Like I've been hearing that call so much from within my own self. So I just need to bring that out and share that, because that's going to just bring that natural connection with others. So that's been super loud. It's been like a megaphone. So I just need to listen to the call and just pivot from there.
I you know how much I connect with this, but this conversation is not all about social media. If it's your print advertising, or your print marketing, if it's something you're doing at open houses, preparation, your door knocking flyer, it doesn't have to be. Now, if you want to take it down the path of social media, but while we're on this topic, how much of your content actually expresses who you are as a human, just as a human? I think it's safe to say that you guys, if you know me, know that I like to have fun with my lady. You know, Silas, you know, I have a serious side, you know, I have a coaching side, you know, I have a family side. I think that's right. It's evident, but that's by purpose too. Like it's by purpose. So I love this, Rico. I absolutely love this. So let's continue this conversation. Stephanie Henry, really good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. What's your contribution? What's your thoughts on this topic? Let's go.
For me, honestly, it's a little overwhelming, but I know I really want to change the whole aesthetic to my social media, the way open houses look and everything. So my focus is just getting something out there, but I'm trying to do the 80-20 rule with personal, sharing personal stuff and then 20 business, if that makes sense.
Okay. How's it working out for you thus far?
I get so overwhelmed with creating content. I get so overwhelmed with it. So I'm just trying to add one thing at a time.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we just got to matrix everything and you like slow it down and see it coming at us. I personally don't believe in the rule 80-20. That's just my opinion. I just feel like just go, right? And then create as you're going, and then you'll start to develop strategies as you're going along, but
Okay.
just have fun with the person that you are. And I think
Okay.
for like your open house stuff, I don't know who started this. Maybe it's Pam Spivey, and hats off to her.
Yeah.
Like the whole, the board, when you walk into the open house, I'm loving those boards, loving it.
Oh, I learned so much from Michael and Vanessa when I went to their open house. I was like, whoa, this is way better in person than like I ever thought. Yeah, I learned
All right,
so
so
much from them.
let's stay here for a second. We all do open houses. We should be
Yeah.
doing open houses. So when you evaluate against other agents, because this is a perfect conversation, what were some things that you noticed instantly that were different when you walked into their open house? Let's have that conversation.
Okay, well, one, I remember when I first started with Team Fast, Michael taught me how to ask people to sign in. And to me, it seemed kind of aggressive, but when I seen them do it in action, it just came off so natural. And I was proud of myself because at the end I was doing it too. And I was like, okay, like I just learned a little bit. And then the board, I've seen Pamela share it before. And you know, I've seen the pictures of like people looking at it being interested, but like when I was there in person, seeing people engage and like complimenting the setup and everything, I was like, this is freaking great. Like I need to do this as well. So it was really good doing their open houses.
And for the people that have not seen the board, give us an example of some things that are on the board.
Well, what Michael told me is that usually it's a lot better, that he usually fills it up, but I know they had neighborhood information, they had the MLS information, they also shared info like about Curbio and other services provided. But apparently it's usually better than that. I'm like, well, this is already really good. So I
love
loved it.
this.
It's great.
All right, so think about this. And we talked about evaluating against other agents that you look up to, making it a better experience. So I talked with Vanessa last night, and Otis is like, you got to tell her name. It was Vanessa, the one that was fake calling her son's
Oh,
karate. It was a really powerful story. But I want you guys to think about this. When she has an open house, she's like, I got protected too. I had people doing my open house. There's like, come on in. She's like, no, it is the list report. It is the board. And then there's a table, and you're not getting in the house without signing in. Like my
yes.
seller wants to know everybody that comes into the house, and they ask that everyone register. Did you pre-register for the open house? No. Okay, let's go ahead and get you registered instantly. It's an instant game changer.
Yep. I'm really glad I watched them do it in action. I was like, okay, I could do that. I could do that. Like, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you guys, they got a ridiculous amount of leads over the weekend, a ridiculous amount. Love this. Let's go, Elise Jones. Let's continue the conversation. If you were to eliminate, create, or change something about your marketing, your flow, your aesthetics, what would that be, Elise? Let's hear from you. And then we'll go to Maria next, George, and then Shanice.
I think for me, the biggest thing right now is networking. I am super like antisocial. So like my content, you can see that, you can kind of understand that like I'm taking myself out of my comfort zone. But I think my biggest thing is networking right now, creating those connections that will help me build those relationships, not just necessarily in real estate, but in life in general, because like being on these kind of platforms is absolutely like so important. And I'm learning that every day, but also, like I said, just kind of taking myself out of that comfort zone with putting myself out there with creating those connections.
Wow, I really love this. And is there somebody that you've seen like at an event, they're like, wow, I like what they do, how they work the room, how they engage with other people? Is there anybody that you've seen like do this in action that you really like were inspired by?
I definitely see Cortez a lot on social media, and I'm like, I have to figure out connecting with him because he's absolutely amazing. And I've seen like a lot of his content, and I'm like, we have to figure out like creating some kind of connection.
Well, you know what? He's here. Cortez, meet Elise. Elise, meet Cortez. Can you guys, after this call, get a call scheduled? That way you guys can pick each other's brain and see how we can serve each other and help Elise become a better networker. Cortez, is that a yes?
Yes.
Awesome. There you go, Elise. You guys connect either on social or on Slack, but there you go. You have that connection. And I love this because check this out. Has anybody ever on this call been to a networking event and find themselves like being the Akko Taco? Has that ever happened to anybody? You like hang out with the people that you came with, but like going up and making new connections, that's hard for a lot of people. Look at George. George is super social. I'm social. And at times I feel like that, but I'm like, all right, hey, I came here. I didn't come here to hang out with the people that I came here with. I didn't. I came here to meet new people. And you know who taught me this? Kenny. Kenny said, I'm like, hey, what are we doing for dinner lately? He's like, I don't want to do dinner with you. I don't want to hang out with anybody I know. I'm like, perfect. I'm going to go hang out with a bunch of strangers. And I went and had lunch, breakfast, dinner with people from all over the country. And I said, peace out, bro. Like it was the push that I needed. So I love this, Elise. I love this, Cortez. Thanks for being here. Maria, the Realtor on a Mission, let's hear from you. If you were to evaluate, if you were to look at something you could eliminate, create, or change, what would that be? What does that look like for you?
A couple of things. For me, I believe just from the feedback that I'm getting that people who follow me on social media, they know that I'm high energy. They know that I'm a believer in Jesus. They know that I'm a realtor. They know that I have gizmo. They know that I travel and I do all these wonderful things. I need to bridge that. You and I talked about, like, I have the conversations, I talk to people, I put people on my database. The thing that I need to do is to go from having the conversation to gaining the business. So it's not necessarily elimination, except for if I want to say I need to eliminate this negative chatter, Kathy, in my head. But I need to do that. As second thing that I feel like I need to do is I'm consistently posting. However, I want my themes to be consistent in terms of my color palette, which I'm working on. And I really want to add YouTube. I had a great conversation with Quan last week, and he was kind of giving me some, great advice, because I'm forever advocating and I'm forever training and teaching, but I'm doing this over and over and over and over and over again. So to save me time, I need to find one place to store all that data, and make it fun, just like my fun personality, and YouTube would be the way to go. But I'm thinking right now, I don't even have a handle on the Instagram posting piece. So I'm taking it one step at a time. Working on my
this. The end of, like maybe it's the end of this month or the end of next month, then it's like, okay, let me gather some information. Let me call Loida. Let me get some information. Let me just at least get some framework, and not take on too much, right? Not take on too much right now, because you got some big things on your plate already. Don't overwhelm yourself, you guys. Don't overwhelm yourself, because you try to move in all these different directions, and all you need to do is just be here. So I love this. And I love that you're evaluating, you're already looking at it this way.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, George Martinez, let's hear from you, big dog. I want to hear from you. If you were to evaluate, if you were to look at it and do things different, eliminate, change, create, what would it be, bro? Well, first off, let's change the fact that you're on mute. Let's change that.
Oh, my bad. I had to rush out the shower this time since I raised my hand. So I would say in my business, one of the biggest things that I would change and evaluate is definitely doing more open houses. I feel like that's something I kind of have slowed down on lately, regardless of whether they're scarce right now or not. After going to Play Bigger, one of the biggest things that I heard all of these like high performing agents do and even some of them that were not even in real estate, but like insurance agents and whatnot, is they're going to and doing the open houses during the week. And I feel like that's something that we're all kind of missing, especially myself right now, is that we're kind of like, oh, I don't want to do them, show up. Well, I remember when I had a listing here in Hayward, I asked Alejandra, I was like, hey, actually out of town, can you or can you open the door for the inspectors? And she was like, sure. What time? I told her 8 o'clock. And so she got there. But the day before I was like, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Why don't you just make it like an open house 8 to 12? I've personally never did one, but I've heard great things about them. She did it. And she actually ended up picking up 2 clients over 1 million. And one of them, actually, she's been showing houses to for quite some time now, but they showed up they were the first ones there at like 8 a.m. So ever since that had happened, I was like, damn, I need to take my own advice on that. So I'm working on taking or finding open houses during the week. But then now that I started doing Raquel's mastermind, one of the biggest things that I personally have been hesitant on is AI. And so on Thursday during the mastermind, they were talking heavily on AI and really implementing that. Like they said, social media, the internet, all the people that got ahead of that in the beginning, like the Kardashians, like at how much they blew up. They're like, if you don't get on AI now and figure out how to use it now, you're going to be left behind. And I mean, we've only seen it out for not even a full quarter. And I mean, shit, I upgraded my chat GBT. It's $20 a month. I learned from Raquel and Leo Chen that she had on that upgrading your chat GBT to Pro, which is $20 a month, it actually has access to all of these damn plugins that you can literally add Zillow as a plugin and then type in chat GBT, look at homes, minimum 3-bedroom, minimum 2-bath under 850K in Maxwell Park of Oakland, California. That I was like, holy shit, that's so much better than scouring the MLS or using Real Scout, which sometimes misses some properties. So for that, I was just like, hell yeah. And then honestly, also going to more events. And I've realized with Mel asking me to do her podcast with her the last couple of months, I've realized that's helped me build more credibility with more clients, that it's actually allowed me to pull in about anywhere between 1 to 3 social media leads a week from social media. And they're actually really real, credible. And there are people that, like me and Mike just did a buyer consultation on Saturday at the Oakland office from somebody that reached out to me on LinkedIn that I went to high school with. I was a senior, she was a junior. I hadn't seen her since senior year. And all it did was me coming from a help mentality where she asked me to give someone her college students, because she's a career coach, give one of her college students some advice and point him in the right direction to get his real estate career started. And I was like, you know what? I almost didn't do it because it's like, I'm busy. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me do it. Let me be nice. Someone paid it forward for me. Let me pay it forward for someone else. And she messaged me 4 days later and was like, hey, thank you so much for meeting with Van. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, me and my mom are looking for a house. Our landlord is selling the property we've stayed at for 20 years. We're really anxious. Can we chat with you? And our timeline's not out for maybe a year. We did the buyer consult, set her up on Real Scout, which doing Real Scout right away during the buyer consult has really helped. Because then by the time they leave and Mike is running the numbers across the table for their pre-approval, I'm setting them up there on the spot. And she actually messaged me the next day and was like, actually, we want to go see these 2 houses. So it kind of helps speed up their search process.
Love this. I absolutely love it. Great stuff, George. And you know what? Somebody with your talent on social and your personality, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing a minimum of 4 open houses. Hey, listen, 2 open houses a month, right? And if you got 40 people coming through and you got conversations with 3 people, I really like those numbers for you, because you're the type of person that's super, super inviting. I definitely think that you should be adding that to your arsenal. Really good stuff.
Thank you.
Let's hear from you. If you were thinking about eliminating, creating, or changing something in your marketing, in your aesthetics, in your approach, what would that be? What needs to happen?
I think just everything for me right now. I'm just now starting out with the team. And so learning so much from you guys, and just the importance of the flow and how everything just kind of looks visually and all of these different things. So really jumping in on my social media, kind of getting congruency there. And then also like working on my CRM, plugging in like the clients and transferring them from point A to point B. in addition to like networking. I really want to start getting like more into networking. It seems like open houses is where it's, so I gotta find a way to add that into there too. So just, I think everything, I just need to really focus and execute. Just like you said earlier in the very beginning of the call, like it's all about your execution. And so I think it's just, you know, putting some gas in the car and just hitting the road.
I love this. I love this. Here's what I want you guys to do. And this comes directly from Lauren Taylor. If you don't follow Lauren Taylor on social media, follow Lauren Taylor on social media. I want you to film some content that is shareable and savable. And what I want you to do is I don't want you to talk in this video. And I know that we all have something to say, and it kind of goes against some of the things that I've shared with you, but I want you guys to shoot some B-roll of you working, running comps, looking in Real Scout, working on your systems, just literally shoot some B-roll. And I got this advice from Lauren, and I took the advice, and obviously I'm still learning, I'm still growing, you guys. I want to share something with you why this is super, super important. So there's things that you guys all do that you do really, like you're really well at, right? For example, what Stephanie said about open houses, right? Here's 5 things to do a fire open house, and it lists those things out. If you're studying for your real estate license, do these 5 things. If you're a buyer in this market, here's 5 things that you need to know. And you literally list them out as an educational video, that it's something that people can save and share. And I tested this out last week, you guys. So this video right here, this is, all right. So as you can see here, let's just go to the reels. All right. So this reel right here, I looked at the insights, and I'm looking at them again right now, just so I have some accurate numbers for you guys, because I want to share with you accurate numbers. That video alone was shared 13 times and it was saved 41 times. Literally, it is just a list of places to go for content. And so I was thinking about you guys. You guys can make a list like that, have it to some trending music. It is your background of you just working, and stuff like that is hitting. The other one that I created, about the same amount of numbers, and I'm not saying a fucking thing. I'm not saying anything. Because think about all the things that you guys are doing, or what are the top tools that you guys use right now to separate you in the game? What are the top 5 resources that you guys use? And think about the things that you have: Sisu, Slack, Follow Up Boss. You have all these things. Like, make a list. An agent might see that, like, wow, Ro, our team doesn't do that. Or consumer might see it. So idea is, make stuff that is shareable and savable. And I promise you, you guys will see people saving that like crazy. And you'll see your followers go up. I've seen quite a huge spike in followers in the last couple of weeks just from doing simple videos like that. George Martinez, you had your hand up, bro.
Yeah, so since you kind of touched base on content, something that I learned in Cal's mastermind, which I thought was cool and was mind blown by, was that so Leo Chen was showing us how you can automate, instead of getting a VA, automate ChatGPT and Canva to build out a ton of reels for you, which I kid you not, I was like, damn, I came from the tech world before real estate, so how the hell did I not like get into ChatGPT sooner? But it was like, something he did was like, go to ChatGPT, I'm a real estate expert and social media influencer, period. Write me 10 tweet-like quotes to post on Instagram for the next week. And then he basically took the prompts and then put them in an Excel spreadsheet. And then when he put them in the Excel spreadsheet, he downloaded the Excel spreadsheet, went to like the template of like a tweet for like an IG reel, and then he uploaded it somehow, and then it auto built out all of these tweets for him instead of going one by one. And he literally did it in like less than 2 minutes and had like a whole week's worth of content. I was like, holy smokes.
Can you show us live on Friday?
Yeah, I can show you guys.
Practice this week, and then I'm gonna have you just show us live.
Okay, sounds good.
I love this. I love this. So you guys, try different things, right? Try different things. Try to enhance your aesthetics. Try different things. See something that's trending and recreate it. I save so many things in my phone and Instagram, so I can just come back to it. I like that music. I see that music's trending. I save that music and I put it on my videos. So didn't want to have all social media talk, but obviously I knew it would go down that hole. What I want you guys to do right now, pause. There's still 69 people on ChatGPT to answer Cortez's question. Go to Slack right now, and I want you in the general channel to write your goals for this week. I'm just going to start it out really quick. I'm going to go general, and all I want you guys to do is be very clear on what your goals are for this week. Let me go general. Boom. All right. So please reply in thread. Do not reply outside of the thread. You guys know how this works. Goals for the week. Cool. ... All right. So let me just pull this up really quick so nobody makes any mistakes. I don't have to go in here and clean this all up. Boom, bam, boom. All right, cool. So in this goals for the week general, just hit this little guy over here, reply in thread, and then that way you could put all of your replies right there. Vernon Williams first in. I love this. You guys, I would love to see everybody on this call write their goals in. This is a public declaration of the things that you're absolutely truly committed to creating in your business this week. Don't hold back. Put this in there. That way it's there. We can support each other. Let's do this. Let's go full circle in the conversation. What are some things that you need to eliminate, create, or change in your business right now? And think about your focus action items just for this week. What do you need to accomplish? You guys, tomorrow I'm going to be off. I'm going to be traveling to get Lily. And like I said, I'm very, very excited about the next month ahead because my baby girl gets to be here. So let's go around the room. I want to hear a couple key takeaways from the people on the call. We got a guest on the line. Is it Cassie? Am I saying it right? Or is it Cassie?
Oh. Yeah, it's Casey.
Casey, what's up, bro? Thanks for being here. Key takeaways from your time here today. What's one thing that you took away from this group?
Key takeaway today, I think, was the execution that was talked about by a few people as well as yourself. I've noticed myself, I always have all these different ideas and different ways I want to do stuff. And I start building out lists, putting stuff on the calendar, getting things ready. But at the end of the day, the execution is the biggest thing that I typically struggle with. So I think that is the biggest takeaway that I have from the call today, for sure. I
love it, bro. And thank you for being here. And Andrea, since you were had him as your guest, first off, I love the Frida behind you. That's a beautiful, beautiful painting. Is that new? I don't think I've seen that before, but that's beautiful.
I've changed my office location in my house. Yes. Okay,
it looks cool. So Andrea, Mama Son, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
Definitely newsletter for me. I've been putting this shit off forever. and I put it at the top of my list. So I'm going to do that. That's going to be my goal this week. And also George, I already hit him up, do open house during the week with him. So.
Oh, I love this. And you guys, don't call Vernon for his newsletter. I know people were hitting you up last week, Vernon. You guys, the newsletter that Vernon used is the one that we create. It's just like our team newsletter. He just switched out the assets and put his own stuff in there. So please don't call Vernon. Just request it in the marketing type form and let them create the template for you. And then you put in all this stuff. So Andrea, it's really, really easy. It just takes a little bit of, like practice, but once you got it, you got it. Let's go. Michael Swanson, key takeaways from our time together today, and then we'll start wrapping up the sesh.
Just, man, be on your shit, everybody, kind of like what Casey said. I think we all got ideas that are rummaging around in our heads, and it's time to get them out, put them on paper, turn into action. Just be on your shit. It's Monday. Let's get it.
That's right, you guys. That's right. You guys, the speed of execution is how this company has grown. I remember when the team meetings, weren't even really a thing. I remember we didn't have coaching. I remember we didn't have a boot camp. We didn't have Mighty. We didn't have all these things that we had, but we just made a decision. We executed and we moved on. Now, not everything worked. Obviously, that's being a company, but execution is what has always separated us. And so you guys, it's worked for me in my business. And I want to encourage you guys to really look at your business and say, okay, what am I dragging my feet on, right? What am I dragging my feet on? And if you don't have a deadline or a commitment or a time frame on your calendar, then your execution is fleeting, right? If you say, I want to create a newsletter, wonderful, Mama Son, by when? And what needs to happen in order for that to take place on the 17th? Who are the people you need to get involved, and when are you going to call them, and what are you going to talk to them about? Cool. Now I'm putting pressure on the things that I know that I need to execute in my business. Stop throwing ideas out there into the wild and thinking that it's going to happen sometime. Everything everything has a commitment and a deadline and pressure. So you guys, thank you for an amazing Monday. You guys showed up today in a big way. Probably had 11 different people contributing. So you guys, thank you for being here with me. Like I said, you guys, I'm so excited to go pick up Lily. You know, we have her mom is crazy, but whatever. But like just waiting at the jetway to see if my baby girl actually comes down the jetway, you guys. It is like nerve-wracking, but I'm hopeful and I'm throwing it in the universe that she's going to just come sprinting down that little jetway tomorrow. And so thank you guys for being here for yourselves. Thank you for being here for your team members, and thank you for showing up for me. So you guys, I appreciate you. I love you. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and have an amazing, amazing day. Peace.
Peace.